Hello and happy Friday, everyone. Oh, I'm so excited to be here with you. I just love doing these card tutorials. Who remembers trying to learn origami as a child? Maybe you learned how to make the paper swan. That was one of my favorites. Or the blow-up box where you folded it and then you blew in it and it popped open. I always thought that was really cool. Anyways, in today's video, I am going to show you how to do an origami window for Santa to peek out of. And I think you're going to enjoy this. All right. Before we get started, though, for those of you who have just found me and don't know me, my name is Kristina Reese, and this is Creating with Kristina. And I come live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on my Facebook page at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. That's here in Texas in the United States. Oh my goodness. And I just love doing card tutorials and sharing all the fun tips and art design and all that fun stuff with you all. And I love watching your comments fly by here. Good morning, Debbie Spicer. And let's see, Paula Clark and Susan Wilkinson and Zen Reed. Wow, lots of names. All right. Stampin' Up, if you didn't hear, let me move this over and let's see. If you haven't heard, Stampin' Up is having a special right now. It's the month of November, and they are allowing people to join for just $75. It's usually $99. With the $75, you're getting $50 in free product. You get $125 in product, but you only have to pay $75, and you also get free shipping, a paper pumpkin, excuse me, and some business material. Anyways, if you're interested in that, give me a message and I will give you more on that. All right, let's get started on our card here. So the trick to origami is precise folds and using a bone folder. Okay, that's the real big one. All right, but before we get into that, let's go over the stamp set. So I love this Santa. So Santa is going to be popping out of the window. And this Holly Jolly Wishes goes great. And I'm going to have Have a Holly Jolly Christmas here with our Santa. But there's Jingle All the Way. There's great sayings on this. As a matter of fact, they're both on the same page in the catalog. All right, let's put those to the side. This is my stamp cleaner. Sorry about that. The measurements are all on my blog. As a matter of fact, I've already written the blog. I haven't published it yet, but I got everything written out. So all I have to do is put this video on there and it's ready to go. So your measurements, the base is just traditional 8.5 by 5.5 folded. Okay, that's the base. Then I've got two 4 by 5.25. This one, because I'm using red cardstock, goes on the inside. And this one, we are going to emboss it. But I put myself a note here so I didn't forget. You have to stamp your sentiment before you emboss, unless you want to put your sentiment on a separate paper and attach it on there. But I don't want to do that. I want my sentiment to be on this layer. And so I need to stamp before I emboss. So I have that little note to remind me. But for the origami, our piece of origami paper is 3 3/4 square. And like I said, these measurements are on my blog, 3 3/4 square. Then the base that the window sits on, this layer, is 2 7/8. That's the base. And then inside the window is 2 5/8. And we're going to stamp our Santa on here. Okay, so we've got all that. We've got that. What else do I need? That's it. Let's get started. Okay, so I've got my Santa. Here's my Santa here. And some black ink. No, red ink. I want red ink. Oh, and I want my sentiment, not my Santa. Whew. All right, move that off. Whew. And I'm going to make this one vertical. I've made them horizontal before, but I'm going to make this one vertical. And also, if you want to see other origami windows that I've made, when you're on my blog, you can do a search for origami window, and you'll see some other ones there. Okay. Oh, we've got Andrea in the house, and this is her first time live. Well, hello and welcome, Andrea. And thank you, Teresa, for sharing. I really appreciate that. The more people here, the more fun it is. Okay, my embossing folder is the brick wall. Okay, brick and mortar. This is a 3D embossing folder, and I had a customer ask how to get it through a Cuttlebug. I don't know if you can. Cuttlebug embossing machines aren't quite like Sizzix. The Sizzix machines and the Stampin' Up machines, and I've got a Tim Holtz Sizzix electric machine. This thing works in it fine, but if you, I'm not sure about the Cuttlebug, so if anyone knows the answer to that, please put something in the comments or whatever. All right, so we're going to put this in here, and my bricks, I want my bricks going this way, across, not up and down. And I want to kind of get it, the edge parallel with the mortar, okay? And then just close that up and sandwich it. Now, one thing we do have, we have a special blue plate, that we sell separately, and so all you need is the base, your Sizzix base, and then this blue on top, and that's perfect for the 3D. But if you don't have this, and you kind of have to play with all the different plates and figure out what you need. Okay, all right, now, and there we go. We have Holly Jolly Christmas on a brick wall. Now, I want to show you what's going to happen, because this is what I did earlier. I embossed it before I stamped, and I wanted you all to see what happens if you accidentally do that. And you ink it up, okay, and you put your Holly Jolly here, and you just can't get a good stamp because of all the mortar. And unless you like that look, don't forget, you need to stamp first and then emboss. All right, so that was my first tip of the day. Stamp before you emboss. All right, let's get all this out of the way. And our next thing is, I need to stamp the Santa on the center square. While I'm stamping, I might as well get this done. And where is my black? Now, Santa just fits on here. So I was kind of worried at first, but his foot and the window that pops out will hide. If the foot doesn't get on there, that's okay, because it'll be hidden by the origami window. But yeah, he literally, there's the edge of his foot and there's the edge of the ball on the top of his hat. He literally just fits in there. So there we go. All right, got that. What's the next thing to do? All right, because this is embossed, it's got texture on the back. I like using glue. I just found that when I try to use the tape runner, because it doesn't stick in all these places and doesn't stick here, sometimes it comes off. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, which I use all the time. It's easier for me sometimes. Okay, we're just going to glue that on there. Alrighty, so that looks great. Next thing, we need to color our Santa. All right, so let me quickly color. And the colors I use for this particular stamp set, I'm using real red cardstock, so I have my real red. Then I have the petal pink for skin tone. I really like how this skin tone looks. But we have other colors. If you want a darker Santa, there's plenty other colors to choose from. And if you do a Google search or a Pinterest search on skin tones and Stampin' Up blends, there's all kinds of great stuff out there for you. But this is my favorite skin tone. And I just do the whole face in the light. Okay. And then I come in, put cheeks with the dark, and Santa has a jolly red nose, so I'm going to put some red on the tip of his nose too. So his jolly red nose and his cute little cheeks. Now, let me pull this up so you can see it better. Yeah. Okay. Next thing is the white beard. The white beard, the beard, and then you also have the white cuffs on the coat, and it all looks kind of flat. So to give it a little more depth, I'm taking my light smoky slate, which is my lightest of all my grays, and I'm just putting some shadow right here. Now, at first it looks kind of weird, but what I do is I then take, and some on his eyebrows here, then I take my Stampin', oh, and on the gloves, because the gloves are white, but the cuffs are white too. And I hardly touch. This is another tip for using the Stampin' Blends. When you have to get into a tiny, tiny place, do not press down. Just try to get the itty bitty tiniest tip of that tip just right there, and just kind of go. I mean, it's still kind of thick, but if you press down, it kind of goes everywhere. Now, this is how it gets all nice. This is called a color lifter. Now, it doesn't lift the color completely, but it does make it a lot lighter, and it also makes the ink bleed out, kind of blend. So this is called the ink lifter or blender pen. We don't really call it a blender pen because we have blender pens in the catalog that are used with our water-based markers. All right, so now his little gloves don't look so white, but they don't look black either. And then on his beard, I'm just going in a circular motion, and I'm just rubbing, just pushing that, all it is alcohol in here, pushing that ink down and spreading it out. Okay, and that just kind of gives it a little shadow, and of course his little eyebrow. There we go. And that just gives it some depth. All right, next thing. So we're done with all those colors. Of course, the black, you really can't get dimension, but he has black boots on and a black belt. So quickly color those. Oh, I was going to talk to you guys about last night. So if you saw on my Instagram, I put some pictures for our conference we're having right now. We call our conference On Stage. Not sure why, but that's its name, On Stage. And I had my team, whoever wanted to, come over to my house. I made chili, and we sat there. I connected my computer to my TV screen, and we watched the opening ceremonies of our conference. And we got to watch this amazing group. I don't know how many of y'all watch America's Got Talent, but it was this choir from Africa. Holy moly, they were amazing. And their dancing was so in sync, and the whole thing was just absolutely amazing. But anyway, so that's what I was doing last night. We just had a lot of fun. Okay, so my boots and my belt are colored. Oh, you know what? His little ears didn't get colored. Okay, let's just throw some color on his ears. There we go. Now for the coat. The coat is red. I take the dark, and there's going to be a shadow where the cuff is. And here. And where the beard is. Pretty much that whole arm is going to be dark. And once again, I'm barely touching because I don't want to accidentally get red in where the white should go. Okay. There we go. So I know some of you all who watch my videos, you're demonstrators. What did you guys do last night for the conference? Did you watch by yourself, or are you with a team? Or yeah, I'd love to know. Just put it in the comments. And those of you who have not joined Stampin' Up yet, remember, it's only $75 right now, and it is so much fun. I love being a part of Stampin' Up. It's just, they are the best company, and they do so much fun stuff. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. I took a picture of all the fun stuff they sent me. For advancing, I got some really neat magazine box holders that have Stampin' Up paper decorated. It's so pretty. It's going to make part of my organizing of my craft room look really pretty with that, and a little pencil box. It's really pretty. I put that on there. And then we got a free stamp set. Well, I ordered I added the, what do you call it? The swag bag. Yeah, I ordered the swag bag, and I showed a picture of what that looked like. Okay, we are done with Santa. That took a long time. What time is it? Oh, 15 minutes. All right, we're ready. Let's make an origami window. Are you ready? So, first step, and when you go to my blog, I'm going to have pictures of how to do this window with templates. Okay, so the picture of the templates with all the markings of how you fold and all of that's on my blog. But I'm just going to show you here. The first thing I need to do is find the center. And the easiest way to find the center of a square is to fold it in half. Okay. And then fold it in half again the other way. The thing is, with this designer paper, it is kind of hard to see the fold, but that's all right. I will prevail. And now that I have the center, it's time to fold the corners into there. And, ooh, that is hard to see. Hold on. I believe that's it right there. Yeah. Whew. Well, okay. Is that, yeah. I guess I cut my, no. Wow, that is hard. So be wary what designer paper you choose. Holy gamoly, that's difficult to see that fold on this paper. Okay, yeah, I thought I got that wrong because this one's folding in perfect. Oh, well. All right, so that's the trick with origami. You really have to be precise or it's just not going to work. Whoops, come on. There we go. And then this one needs to move over. There we go. All right, and then this one. Whew. Okay, so now that I've folded all my corners in, where's my bone folder? I want my bone folder to get those nice and crisp edges there. Oh, that's so nice. The next part is to go in from this edge a 1/2 inch out here. Okay, so I'm going to use my scoring tool here. And I'm using the grid on my scoring tool, and I'm putting where that fold is right there on the 1/2 inch mark and coming down, taking my score tool, and that way I know I get exactly a 1/2 inch on all sides, and it's also even on all sides. Okay, there we go. So it's a 1/2 inch from the fold. And one more time, it's on my blog. Oh, I forgot to put my blog up there. You guys, what's your blog? There's my blog. Yeah, everything is Creating with Kristina. My Facebook page, my Instagram, my YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember, I do Facebook Lives, and then I upload them to YouTube. So occasionally I reply to people who are commenting, and if you're wondering what that is, that's what that is. Right, Fran. Les said that, yeah, on stage is only for demonstrators. So that's a reason to join if you want to be a part of On Stage every year. It's always in November. Usually it's in Utah where Stampin' Up! Is based. But because of the stupid pandemic, we're doing it virtual. Though they sure have done an amazing job with the virtual. They have a platform and that they've paid for that really gets everything just awesome. Okay, there is your origami window. Whee! Isn't that fun? And if you would rather have the other side showing, it's no big deal. You just flip it and do it this way. And flip it and flip it. Okay, and so then your window's that way. But I like the gingham, so I'm going back to the gingham. Now I folded it so much, I don't know if it'll stay closed. Okay. There we go. Love that gingham. All right. Now, Santa goes inside, okay? And I'm just using glue. All right. Come on. There we go. And just close the window on him so you know he's in there. There we go. And you can even turn him over and make sure you press that paper down in with the glue like that. Okay. Now he's in there and he's peeking out saying, hello, holly jolly Christmas. And this is the base. Just glue this on. Okay. Ooh, there we go. And I'm going to do that again, the press on the back. Make sure it's good, secure. And here's our card, but one cannot put a card together without dimensionals. Here we go. Yay. And he just gets centered right there. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Isn't that such a cute card? And then, of course, you want to put a white piece in here. And you probably want to stamp the white piece. I thought the little Santa pulling the sleigh, that would be really cute here on the inside. Come on. Go. No. Okay. What else does it need? I think it needs bling. This is the holiday bling set. It's in the annual catalog. I love it. It's got just perfect colors. I've used almost all of the pool party, but I'm using the green right now. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Awesome. And there we have, and I used the gingerbread paper on this one. So that's what's fun about this window is you get to see both sides of the paper also. And that is an origami window. You can put all kinds of things in there. You could put Santa up on dimensionals too if you wanted. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Like I said, it is on my blog. All the measurements, pictures of how to do the origami is all on my blog. We're having the joining special right now. If you want more information about that, that's on my blog also under Join My Team. When you click that button, it just has everything written out in plain English. just nice and simple with little bullet points so it's easy to read. And what else is going on? If you are not getting if you've signed up for my newsletter, but you're not getting it, please check your spam folder. A lot of people are like, I signed up, but I'm not getting anything. I'm like, check your spam folder. If not, tell me and I will see if your name is actually in there. And if it's not, then we can register you again. All right. You'll have a blast. Have a great weekend. I'm going to spend all day at the conference. I'm going over to my friend Francine's house and we're going to do the conference together. And I'll share all the fun stuff with you on Monday. Okay? Bye-bye, you guys.